light last race, the closest race we've had. Man, it's been a good day. Did 4 races today. This will be one of the last couple videos. Make sure you study these. These are the top. This is the team that got 4th at the Worlds, the team that got 8th at the Worlds, and the team that got 52nd out of 193 at the Worlds. And I really think these guys trim their leech of their jibs outside the spreader. So this is something I got to figure out. Now they're cracked off right now, but I do think that they do pretty much. They're not as tight as I'm telling the other guys. The other guys I think have gotten a lot better. Here's the guys talking about their tactics. Her elbow hit the boom. So it takes, that's just an example of all the coordination. You got to do repetition and isolation training. You got to do the windward mark rounding drill over and over again so that you get every little detail down. The skipper can't put the boom right above your arm as you're hoisting because you're going to get the elbow on the boom. Okay, well, great job. I think that'll be the last video for Saturday. Oh, these guys look good. I said that was going to be the last video, but I was wrong. I think his mane could come in, but he's in the Mickey Mouse. Look at that, Shane Tilson. We learned that from world champion Carlos Robles, Mickey Mouse. The skipper's on his knee and his foot, and the tiller's pointed to leeward. His is kind of up in the air, but you can kind of point the tiller to leeward just a little, and that allows you to put the weight on your right foot a little, and then, yeah, there we go, Mickey Mouse. Not many people use this, especially as you get bigger. You go to the standard, sit on your sabot bottom. You sit on your bottom with your feet out and your knees bent. The Mickey Mouse is much harder on the knees. It's really good in swells. When you're in swells, it really helps. So the skipper and the crew are kind of working together, moving. Cool. Nice job. Last race on Saturday. Oh, it's good to be little. That heel to leeward, that's bad. Don't do that. So that's going to go on the list of do not heel to leeward. You got to keep the boat absolutely flat. Otherwise, you get lift on your centerboard that's vertical. So the heel gets exaggerated. Yeah, as you go to leeward, the boat heels to leeward. The centerboard then starts to lift up. Boat spins through the jibe. But you also lose speed as you heel to leeward going into the jibe. You lose speed, so then the apparent wind increases, which makes your jibe much more volatile. You know, if you increase the apparent wind, you increase your chances of flipping by a lot. Coach all levels. I get to coach new greenhorns and the 29ers, and then I get to coach teams like that who are one of the best in the country. Super fun. Sunday morning, Junior Invitational. Got about 3 knots. All the teams are practicing. Got about 35 minutes to the first race. And it's really neat to see the newer teams out speed testing with the veterans. So here we are, Sunday. We're going to do 4 races. Should be a little more wind today. Three to 6 knots. And race 1 on Sunday. This will be race 5 for the regatta. We're looking at 4 races today, and the 4th race will be the crew swap. So they either switch around where the skipper and crew switch positions, or maybe somebody will switch boats. So pretend regattas like this, where you're working on different things, you mix it up a little bit. And looking at the starting line and the gates, the starting line's shorter today. You can't see the pin there, but if you look at the angle of the starting line and the angle of the gates are square to the wind. Maybe that right one is a little further upwind, and then this start line is missed the start. We just did a quick main sheet repair on a frayed main sheet, a wet main sheet with electrical tape. We're going to see if it holds. Very light wind, 3 to biggest puff of the day starting, so that's 6 knots. And short course, we're just doing 5-6 minute beats with 8 boats. Maybe 7 minute beats here in a while when the wind picks up. And 23, 24 minute races. Getting the 4 teams up ready for the youth champ. Looks like Wyatt is full trapping. There's one boat out there fully powered up, Shane and Wyatt. Such a good feeling. Bigger swells today than yesterday. And this is the team that's winning the regatta right now. They've won 5 regattas this year. Sammy and Alice. Bigger swells. See how they don't flatten all the way to 0 on that? They flatten to like 1 or 2 degrees. They don't go all the way to 0 degrees on the flatten, because the swells, if you heel to windward in these swells, everything stops. There we go. Slow turn, heel, flatten to almost perfectly flat. That was all the way to 0 on that one. It's a little easier to come out of the tack onto starboard tack with the swell. That was just awesome. Spinnaker set Anton first. Watch the skipper and the crew, they're gonna move. Yeah. So Anton's doing a little more of a slide, grab the rail thing.
John, that was a 6-minute upwind leg.
Here's Wyatt and Shane. Set. So starboard is gnarly. You're gonna have to see the crews going in and out, and the skipper's moving too, because the swells are launching you from starboard to port. Your apparent wind is shifting a lot, and it's increasing and decreasing a lot. As you get launched from your right to left, the apparent wind decreases, so the boat gets really flat. See that? And then all of a sudden, see, really flat. Now as you exit the swell, watch, she's gonna heel to leeward now. Ooh, see that? That's all swell induced. Cool, fun day. Very good, so that's set. We're gonna work now on coming out just a little more heated in light air, a little more heat. Cool. So you're gonna see the heel angles change on each boat. Now it's light now. I would have jibed. Port tack's gonna look much faster and more stable because the swells are now behind you. So again, you'll see the boats are gonna be quite stable now, and then there's gonna surge forward. So the crew just has to be ready for that. As the swell surges you forward, you're gonna be trimming. And as you slow down, the apparent wind is gonna go aft and you're gonna be easing. The 9 ice do seem to have quite a tight luff. I don't know if you see the difference in the luff, but their upper luff has got more tension on it from the luff line, which is tied at the bottom. So it's hooked down more, tighter than the other spinnakers. It's not that dramatic with that red one, but it's quite a bit with, I don't have the same angle, but it's quite a bit tighter than this one. Okay, so Anton stayed first. The ladies are second. What are the 9 heises gonna do? They're looking upwind right now. They're gonna round the left one. I think the left one is better. Or it's square, or everything's square. This is the last second takedown. They're going upwind with the spinnaker. Almost. Well, unless you do it like that. Yeah, it's so fast. Noah and Jack have done well. They passed Cole on the run a little bit. And so the right buoy is further upwind. Shane's rounding now, and Noah still hasn't rounded. So, yep. So if I was Madison, I'd probably be jibing. It's about a boat length favored for the one on the right. That's okay. No need to do a lot of maneuvers at the end. Oh, look at that. Cool. She actually pulled the spinnaker around to windward first and then dropped it. And that's fine to do. And in the future, you work on the upwind takedowns where you work on where you're in this wind, you're actually pulling the kite down as you go around here because the jib's already most of the way in. Now the skipper looks at the boats ahead, doesn't try to outpoint them, but tries to go straight at the top of the swells and then head up a tiny bit as you get wind. Trying not to bear off when you get right here. Get ready, watch. Her boat's about to get flat. Right now, boat gets flat. You try not to bear off too much right there. Now it's gonna get a puff. Right, and when you're in the trough, puff. Looks really good. Shane sailed a lot in the ocean, so he gets swells. Now they're at the bottom of the trough, puff, puff. Good, little swell. Here comes a big swell in 6 seconds here. They're still in the trough, still in the trough, still in the trough. They're gonna get light. 3, 2, 1, light spot. That's just because of the swell. And you got to be careful not to bear away too much when that happens. Otherwise you stall half of the jib at least. We got Anton and Peter still leading. Okay, he would sail a little extra soak right now just to work down in front of the boat behind. So that boat, and then would accelerate right about now. Make sure he's full speed now. Because he does not want the boat behind to get in a position to pounce. So watch them. They're never heel to windward. Flat, flat. Top of the swell, they're flat. Now they're going to get pressure. Right as they get into the trough, you're going to see the crew have to hike more. Not much. So these are full soak conditions. Whoever can trim the loosest without luffing goes the fastest. They're about to get more pressure. Big swell. Boat goes flat. So you have to practice in these conditions a lot so you get a feel for getting in a rhythm with the swells and knowing what makes you faster.